Nanch. He was amped, but the Charge Bolt ends up missing, and Worm are just kind of missing a few too many abilities. They're backing up now. Charge Bolt thrown out, doesn't hit anybody. Nanch just giving shields as soon as anyone goes on him, and a nice BP ult comes out. Nanch has another ult, and it's gonna kill Guardian. And Cold does come back. It looks like I mean, I think Cold's team like probably should have been winning. I think that they handle the tanks that Worm has quite well, but there was definitely mistakes in that last round. So I don't know, maybe it could have been closer. All right, so I'm definitely gonna watch that upper bracket game though. It should be the better of the two, I think. I mean, it's hard to tell, but I think Cat Lover might win that bottom bracket game though, but I can't say for sure. Why does it take so long for these brackets to update? Oh, I could just do this. Alright, I think this should be interesting. Cold have been doing really well. I've never heard of the Moist or Dr. Polish. I think Dr. Polish might be a Smurf, or maybe just like someone's friend from WoW. Which it's always either one of those when someone has like 1k victories but they're really good at the game. But Devil picks the same random comp as they were playing before, and yeah, they both pick their main comps. It's hard for me to say whose comp is better here. I think that they both have good chances to beat each other, but like the Seeker, it's really good that the Seeker has Grimrock to space him out and a Totem also, because they have like so much good stuff for his trance, like the inhibitor in general. Nice Shadow Bolt landing onto Blackie, but also if the Randit ever gets a stun onto that Seeker, it's so painful. Anyway, 2 shields already deployed onto Z-King, but no damage comes until after, but he's actually not taking too much damage. Grimrock spacing onto, or R'ing onto him, but he gets a 2-man space, and he's actually doing so much damage with his Randit. 3 stacks of amp onto Moist, but he gets a really nice predict onto that Wuju with that Nether Strike, and gets a Blood Grip as well. Meteor lands, but there's a really clutch Aegis in time. Runic Shield and Barrier are all stacked onto each other after that out of panic, but you know, he's still alive, and that's good so far, but he might be in trouble. No, Moist is getting turned on. He actually got Blackie got Blood Gripped in his stealth, and it was, I think, mostly by accident. Nice jump onto Captain there. They just like poured everything into him, but it didn't do too much. 2-man Frost landing onto the range of Worm, and looks like Cold will take this one. Unless, no, it's gonna be a 2v2, and Blackie has Sprint, and Sprint Randit. It's really speedy. Accidental Blood Grip onto the Alchemist. I believe that was meant for Blackie, and Blackie ends up spacing, almost getting Frost Sharded before he could, but Randit space is instant, so weaken onto Dr. Polish. It's gonna be hard for them to take down Polish's HP, but he's a Grimrog, so it kind of doesn't matter. They really just want to kill the Harbinger anyway. They're gonna get a stun on him. Yeah, they did get the stun, and Alku thrown out, but it wasn't exactly where Moist was, and he just kind of walks out of it. Pops his own ult, gets a Blood Grip. Deadly Injected. Does he have another shift? He pops it a little bit late. 1-man ult coming out onto Dr. Polish. He doesn't space it properly, but the Randit doesn't pursue him anyway, so he should be alright. Moist could have landed that Shadow Bolt, I think. Nice Nether Shift, but X-Start still lands as Dr. Polish cancels it and tries to space away. I don't know about that goo. Doctor definitely had the Claw Flurry there, so that was a bit of a mistake. But Weaken goes out, hits Devil in the face, so that's direct damage. He's gonna have to heal himself up. Blackie kills a totem, gets a stun. He could get a kill here, and he gets gripped by the Harb, exactly where he was going. That was like such an unfortunate mistake. It would be really hard to make that call, even like if you were on Skype. Like, who's gonna like call that out? I'm gonna R right next to you, you know. But Blackie, he was actually in the middle of a Ranid M1, and if you get the first M1 off on Ranid, you get the next like M1 off no matter what. So even though he was blood gripped, he was still casting the other M1 even though he's silenced. Anyway, nice space in by Z-King, gets a 2-man interrupt, and just gets his team like really deep in. Moist was interrupted, so he didn't want another shift, and he ended up getting exploded on. 3-man stack and an M2 or three amp stack and an M2 on top of a Ranid stun, and Moist is already almost dead. Z-King gets weakened, but it doesn't do very much damage. It just stops his damage for a little bit. And 1-man ult comes out from the Ranid here, and he gets a nice blind onto Huzzah. Huzzah has no cooldowns though after that. Gets a really nice frost though. Well played by him. Gets blood gripped by Moist. Good teamwork. But Huzzah's probably, I mean, he has no idea where he is anymore. Like, he's so confused. Lands a meteor, dodges that runic beam. Goo is just completely missed. Frost or Ice Arrow landing on Z-King, and can Huzzah just solo kill Z-King? His teammates are both ulted though, and actually Z-King gets a barrier and ends up killing Huzzah, who did want to go for that all-in play, but Devil was watching him, and Blackie was handling the Grimrog and the Harbinger really well on his own. He had them ulted, and they were both really low, so they weren't really trying to damage him at that point, so they didn't need barrier. The Alk didn't need to give him any attention. But I don't really blame Huzzah for going for that kill. It was really close. But I think Worm are kind of outclassing here. Space in by Moist, lands a nice bolt onto Z-King. He cancelled his Wuju, so that's unfortunate for him. That's kind of why he's just stood there after that. Blow Dart, Toxin Bomb space combo onto Moist. That was quite some damage. He almost turns right into Blackie's face, but Blackie stunned him just in time. And he already has an ult farmed up, gonna get a 2-man ult. Huzzah has his own ult, but he's just too low. Yeah. His teammates are kind of low on TPS here. Moist had 60 when his teammates died, but it's kind of hard. I mean, I guess like Cold Team, they do have a good shot at killing the Ranid inhib, but like it's so elusive for the heroes that they picked, specifically this Harbinger Seeker team. Like the Ranid and the inhib are like almost never scared, and they even have Alchemist Dispel for like the scary stuff that can even be put on them. Barrier, as soon as he gets like amplified, it's kind of like a really good combo. They'd have to really play perfect. Nice Nether Strike onto Z-King, but he has shields. Ranid hit by a fire on the back, taking a lot of damage, but he has an ult. And Moist is kind of going in deep. Blackie is weakened, so he doesn't want to ult right now, but he'll find somebody soon enough. He does get that stun, and it should be a 2-man, yeah. Hits Captain on the hip, and Captain uses his trance, gets a totem, but then that means Moist gets no totem for himself. Captain stunned out, needs to get spaced, gets gripped instead, and Affliction thrown out, doesn't hit anybody. Moist moving in, and Blackie trying to find a target. He will find Moist, who I don't know if he has. Yeah, he doesn't have another shift, so he goes down. Got deadly injected and everything, and this is kind of turning into a massacre, man. It was a lot closer in the earlier rounds, but already we see the Ranid team pulling ahead. I think, I don't know, like they just need to kill the Ranid. Like I think this is the same exact thing that happened to another team running Seeker Harb. Like they just need to go for the Ranid instead of the inhib. Like you can farm energy on the inhib if you want, like when it's easy to do that, but for the most part, like you want to be on that Ranid. You want to get him out, you want to get him low, and like you want to get energy on your Seeker. Frost Shard on Tyrannid. He's kind of in a bad spot, but there's no Shadow Bolts being thrown at him. There's a Shadow Bolt on Tyrannid, but after that, where's the damage? Dr. Polish actually taking a lot. Kind of overextending himself a little bit. He hasn't been the focused target at all, so it's no surprise that he got surprised right there. Meteor with 3 stacks of amp onto him. Z-King Blood Grip, but Blackie ends up getting a stealth and a Venom Dart straight onto Doctor, and he surrenders immediately after that. Moist actually does finish off that harp that he was chasing the entire round though, and it's just too bad that he did it after his teammates died. I think yeah, I think they really needed to just get the Ranid out. I think they also needed to just push, even though it's really painful to push. Like, it's much worse to be in this room and like to be like starting to be forced into that room. But yeah, I'm gonna go watch another game. Oh wow. It looks like Cat Lover did 5-0. Okay. So we're gonna see Ranid versus Ranid in the finals, most likely. And it's what are the comps? Is it Ranid Seeker? I don't remember exactly. Oh no, wait. Oh, I don't know what Cat Lover runs. He did run Ranid last time, but they kind of changed it up. Like on another game, I think Cat Lover was healing and Hercules was on Gunner. Oh yeah, they're doing Ranid Gunner, that's right. Alright, so it should be like Ranid Gunner, and I think they did Alk. Dryad might be better, but if you don't know how to play Dryad, you know, you can't really pick it. So yeah, it's gonna be Ranid Mirror for sure, unless Blackie wants to do something different. Oh, they picked Nomad instead of Gunner. That's actually really good. It's not so great versus the inhib, but it can zone that Ranid out so badly, and they even do Grimrog. They're gonna try to turtle out the super like burst team of Worm over here, of Team Russia. And I think that's like I think they did a really good job picking right here. Switching their picks from Ranid Gunner, Alchemist to Nomad and Grimrog instead. Because they can literally kite that Ranid forever. Cat Lover just has to be careful not to get killed himself. Same for Nomad, but mostly Cat Lover. He gets a nice stun and X-Strike combo, even the silence thrown out onto the inhibitor. It takes a lot of damage, and Blackie takes some damage too, but Hercules accidentally weakens his Nomad. Z-King CC'd on the back. I don't think he has space for a little bit. But Cat Lover has farmed his ult, and he actually ults. Oh my god, 2 ults going down. Nice Woj by Z-King. But that was a really clutch Venom lunge by Cat Lover, not getting weakened right there. Nice space and blind onto Devil. X-Strike coming out and an inhib ult coming out as well. Z-King spacing towards the rune. I believe one of the Cold Team players got it though. 2-man space and a 3-man lunge coming out, EX lunge coming out, and Frog Leap blocked onto Cat Lover, but he has Aegis and Totem. But is Hercules dead? Yes, he is. I think he might have had R though. He didn't have R. He had space and Aegis, but he went for a silence and it was a bit too greedy. And actually, Worm winning out there. I think Cole just kind of got a little bit too excited. Like, they don't need to kill them fast. They just kill them slow. But, like, once their start was good, they kept trying to, like, go harder and harder. Like, they should have just waited back a little bit. But, we'll see if they probably know that. They know exactly what type of comp they picked, so... Worm is going to push up a little bit more aggressively, though, a little bit more confidently. Blackie goes for 2 space and used his stealth as well, but he has barrier. He has nothing after that, though. Well, he has space again. He's going to space, kind of irrelevant in the fight, being ran away from, or Nomad runs away from him, but he had sprint, so he ends up getting a stun, and Nomad is incredibly low. Totem immediately killed by Z-King, who's at full HP, by the way, as is Blackie. 1-man ult coming out from Cat. That's probably a little bit too fast-paced right there for Cat Lover, and Like he might have been able to wait. I think he should have waited there. Uh, there's a little bit of problems coming from Cold here. I wonder if they just haven't ran this comp at all during the tournament today, and they're just kind of having trouble like realizing their roles, and also probably realizing that Warm team are like really warmed up on this like offensive play. Yeah, they need to cool their jets. They need to cool down the entire game. They need to fucking slow everything down, and then also just try to get the runes. But it's much better to just not lose HP than to get the rune. But anyway, X-Strike comes out, stun onto Cat. He's losing quite a bit of HP, gets spaced on even. Does take the rune and gets a stun, but look at his HP already at 30%. He's gonna get stunned as well. Is there a Venom Dart? There is a Venom Dart, and that's kind of an awkward way for Cat Lover to go out. He had space as well, and Aegis. Even Sprint, which, I mean, you may as well just use the space, but if you don't want to use Aegis, you could sprint away from him. I think this is kind of throw here, honestly. Worm are doing incredibly well here though. I'm sorry whoever you are that why won't you spectate me? So, yeah, I'm sorry whoever you are. But hopefully you made it into the finals. Anyway, Blackie moving in, gets stunned as soon as his stealth ends. 2 blow darts deployed, and Blackie does get the rune. CC onto Z-King. Nice weight on that stun there by Cat Lover. 2-man meteor landed by Z-King. So many shields poured onto him. They can totally switch to... Oh, well, I guess they can switch to Z-King as well because he has no more barriers. He gets ulted. Should have a space, I believe, for that ult, but doesn't use it. Maybe he didn't have one. Blackie gets a 1-man ult. Doesn't do too much damage. Cat Lover is really low, but so is Z-King. So as long as they can keep the inhib kind of at bay, the Ranid won't want to really push in by himself. But X-Strike is missed, so I mean, Nomad has to be landing these M1s now. Cat Lover does farm an ult, lands a space onto Blackie, lands a 1-man ult, almost gets 2 with Devil. I believe got dispelled on his stealth right there. No, does still have a stealth. Does he have X-Dart? He doesn't use it. Oh, he misses it. If he casted it a little bit earlier, he definitely could have maybe killed Blackie. Blackie gets a stun and gets stunned on his in between his spaces. That was really nice by Cat, but he didn't use the X start. I think that would have been really good. Look at that double R on each other, exactly timed together, and a 1-man ult. Cat Lover's just been slightly off with his ults, but slowly and surely, Cold are winning here. Stun onto Cat Lover in his in his stealth. Man, I'm losing my voice. And lunge onto Z-King, X-Strike, and then regular boomerang shot kills Cat Lover in stealth. Or not Cat Lover, sorry, Blackie. And finally, Cold get on the board. I think like Warm might be thinking that this is gonna be easy, so like I think they're kind of like taking it a little bit too easy, while Cold are like really, you know, trying to get around here, trying their hardest. And if Warm aren't careful, they might start tasting the counter comp that Cold have actually managed here. Cat Lover still needs to land more 2-man ults though. He's like missing way too many of those. It's bound to happen, but like this often, it's getting kind of bad. 2-man sluggish by online, so that was well done by him. And Z-King is kind of in trouble, but Cat Lover opts to stun Blackie, goes through the blow darts, shows his back to Blackie a little bit too much and takes a lot of blade flurry damage. Online gets hit by Deadly Inject, but Hercules dispels it with Arcane. That was really nice. Ends up not taking too much damage from it. 2-man ult coming out from Cat Lover, and Aegis popped out onto Devil. Doesn't take damage to that ult, but Cat Lover is doing a lot of damage to Blackie. Boomerang Storm coming out, but Blackie's getting a lot of shields right there. So well done by his teammates keeping him alive. He didn't take like any damage from that. Z-King weakened. Cat Lover R'ing in and going for a Toxin Bomb space. Doesn't do too much, but Cat Lover ulted ulted up Blackie, but he was at 1 HP, and Z-King comes in with a Woach and kills him. Now it's gonna be a really turtly like ranged healer versus ranged healer. X Strike landing onto Devil. He sends out a sleep, or I don't know if that sleep landed, but X Space coming out from Z-King, and actually probably ended up doing more damage than Z-King's ultimate did right there. CC came out, but Devil really aptly dispelled it as soon as it came out. Well played by him. He needs to save this ult and use it well though. He can use it on this Nomad right here if he wants, but it looks like he's not going to do it. Maybe gonna wait for the next phase. He can use it after this phase if he wants, but now he's weakened, so maybe he should have used it earlier. Two-man meter, really nice by Z-King. Uses his runic on himself, gets CC'd up, and now Hercules is just completely nuking up Devil, and a really nice God, what is it called? Dark Voodoo came out, and Devil popped his ultimate, but he didn't have Aegis, so I can see why he would pop the ult. But maybe if he used Sprint, he could have lived that Boomerang Storm with the Dark Voodoo though was like perfectly timed, and even though online went down, that's another round for Cold. So hopefully Cat Lover can keep pulling out those double ults, keep winning it for his team. X-Strike missing space by Inhib onto Nomad after his space, and Cat Lover accidentally hitting a trance, R'ing towards Inhib, and Inhib killing that totem really quick, which is really good because Hercules actually R'd in right after, and he's already behind on healing. But here comes a big ult from Nomad here, but there was a barrier onto the Inhib, so it wasn't doing too much. Inhib's ult didn't do too much either, but Blackie has a really good in. Gets only a one-man ult, but he gets it on Ranid, and it's always good to ult the other Ranid because he can't farm for energy while he's ulted for the most part. Stun onto Z-King and a Boomerang Storm, first one I've ever seen, I think, comes out. Weaken onto Blackie in between his spaces, and a really nice silence while he's sprinting in stealth. Nice read by Hercules there, kind of shooting in the dark and landing it. Cold are really low though, and they're not taking it slow. They're being forced into a fast round, and actually Devil gets a kill with a I think that was an EX deadly with an M1 to follow it. So Devil actually game there, and I don't know. They were too spread out. It's once again the problem. They need to like draw a line in the sand and say, basically, they will never cross this line, but like when they do, like we retreat as a team, and then like we push for that line again with the X Strike. Like X Strike is like their most powerful ability, I think. Like that and the Ranid stun. I don't think they're using it as well as they should when they have invaders on their spawn, you know. Anyway, Z-King lands a trance, spaces towards Cat Lover, gets another two-man space, but takes a lot of damage to Hercules and Ranid M1's. Misses his meteor as well. Hercules manages to space out of that, and Z-King lands a trance and spaces out immediately at 30% HP. He's losing a lot of HP from this. Accidentally, Nomad helps Blackie dodge that Ranid ult. It would have been really nice, but holy shit, look at that collapse right there, man. That collapse is gonna make that 5-0. Ranid stun with Inhib space into Inhib ult. Finishes off the Nomad right there. Nomad is so squishy when she doesn't have her space. She did have her space, but she didn't pop it. She got stunned. And I think it's easy to say that Worm Team definitely deserved that one. Even with even with the counter comp, they just completely played it perfectly. So yeah, anyway, that's it. They won, and GG's, and I'm gonna go cast Dota now. So if anyone wants to watch shitty TI commentary, continue watching, I guess.